Hi Flosstube, this is Jill from Count on Linens. Today is November 19th, 2025, and this is my Flosstube video number 14. So welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again, and if you're new, thank you for coming on today and giving me a chance. I am just so overwhelmed with our response from our last video. My sister came on with me and we did a video together sharing all of our beautiful projects and a lot when I say beautiful, like all of Kimmy's stitching. It's just amazing. And we just had so much fun doing that, and so much fun just hearing your response and engagement, and it just was wonderful. It was great to celebrate our 1-year Etsy anniversary and do a giveaway, so thanks for commenting. I do have winners for the giveaway, and there's 2 things that I'll give away today, and that is 1 fat quarter of linen of your choice, and a kit, a project bag kit, which I will show if you're new here. So thank you so much for the new subscribers. I'm just overwhelmed with all the response and the positivity. It sure does make my my day brighter over here. Running a small business is rewarding, and it's also challenging. And coming on here is, as you know, like for those who do a Flosstube, I mean, who does this? Who starts like 5 or 6 times or 10 times, not knowing exactly what to say? That was me today. So missing Kimmy here. It's so much easier to have like a little sidekick to talk to. So I'm talking to you in the camera, and I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, I do have another giveaway today, so I'm just going to share just like a little, not agenda, but it's not like a meeting or anything, but just an overview of what we're going to talk about today, so that you have a little heads up. So I have a finish. I have 2 new starts. Of course, I have whips. I'm going to show one thing that I have new in the shop, and then I'm going to make a special announcement, and then I have whip, stitchy kindness haul, a little bit of haul, one little plan I have, and some sewing. And then let's see, and then I wanted to talk about my Instagram, so I'll start with that first. So many of you know and follow me on Instagram, and I have been sharing some gratitude thoughts along with my stitching, and all of the thoughts are written by my husband. And it was actually his idea to share some, gratitude to all of you. And if you haven't seen my Instagram, I encourage you to go on and check it out. It's Count on Linens. And we started, I think, the first week. I'm just going to hop on, just kind of give you the date so you can go back. Because you want to start, if you're interested, you'll want to start at the beginning. And I'm just looking at the date. 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about like 12 posts down, so like four down on November 10th. Actually, no. We started on November 8th. It was the day I had a birthday, and then we started. So go on and check it out. All of the, like I said, all the quotes are written by my husband. There's no AI There's no, it's all hand art and then inspired written words by a human. So that's always good to know. So Roger's a gifted writer, and it's just been so fun to work together on this project. And so thank you, Roger, for thinking of this, and it's been really fun. And we're going to do this until Thanksgiving Day. And he's written so many good ones that I'm right in the middle, so I have 9 more. Actually, I have 8 more to share. And there's a few more in there that I also want to share, so I might do 2 in one day. I don't know. We'll see, because there's so many good ones. And then if we continue to get a good response, perhaps we will do something for Christmas. Share maybe some messages of peace and hope during the Christmas season. So take a look at my Instagram. I had a birthday in November, and I really wanted to, I had a birthday start last year, which I will share, but I didn't put as much time and effort into it as I had planned. And I'm going to continue on with that, but I decided to choose something in my whips that I really was, close to a finish and was important to me, that meant a lot to me. And so I actually finished it for my birthday. I'm calling it my birthday finish. And that is my Jane Austen needle book. And so if you haven't seen the chart, it's a primitive hair design. And it is just a sweet needle book. And I will share my finish with you. So I have it displayed, and I shared this on an Instagram post. But all of these items in my basket are they're real true antiques. So I found this at a, I don't know, it was like a vintage, show. I don't know if it's really antique, but it's pretty old. This is a silk dress that I found in a little shop in England. A little baby dress. It has holes in it. It is just I don't even really want to touch it because it might fall apart. But I just loved it. I thought it was so sweet. And then I have some pearl buttons and some silk thread that I've had for many years, and some wooden spools, more buttons that are vintage. And then of course I'm going to share what I have in my display, and this is Jane. So I'm going to put my basket down, and then I will open it up and I'll share with you. So this is the front. This is one of my vintage buttons. It's just a pearl button that I hand sewed on. And then this is the back. And then I finished it with just some pearls. They're just from Hobby Lobby. They're nothing special. The ribbon is special. The ribbon is real grosgrain, and I bought it from a little La Petite Maison, which is a little French shop here in Salt Lake Valley. For those of you who don't know, I live in Utah. So, okay, so I'm just gonna open it up. This is the inside. So then I have my needles, little areas for my needles, and then I just chose the needles numbers that I use the most. And then this is the back. Let me just move this out of the way. This was just so fun to put together, and I made a little boo-boo when I did the stitching. So in the chart, I wasn't really thinking about it. Okay, pretend like this is the bottom of the chart. And then there were probably like, I don't know, like 20 spaces down, and then it started with the needle section, this part. So I just thought, oh, I'll just count down and just start stitching. It didn't give me enough seam allowance. So if you're going to do this, don't do that. Like, just give yourself plenty of space. That's why I'm so it's pretty cozy up on the top there, and it's not centered, but I'm okay with it. There's always a little glitch in our, well, at least for me, there's a glitch in the project, and it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just really happy with my little book. So that's the finish that that I wanted to share with you. And I have a start. We'll start with the birthday start. Okay, so going along with the theme of Jane Austen, because it's been such a big year for Jane, I thought, why not have a Jane Austen birthday start this year? Because I have several of her charts of, Jane inspired charts, and I thought, well, I better start doing them, right? And so I chose to do this sweet sampler by River Drift House. And let's see if I can put something behind it. Let's see a little better. Here we go. Now, a lot of these motifs, there's a big write-up within the chart. It talks about the history behind the motifs. And for example, the house is patterned after a drawing of the house that she, in her childhood home. And then the cathedral is the Winchester cathedral, where she was spent the remainder of her days there before she passed away, and then she was buried, well, in that area, and then she was buried in the cathedral. Okay, so I thought it was pretty special, and I really love the design of the sampler, and here is my start. So I really wanted to just get around that border, which I did. It's just a very simple, sweet border. I did do a color conversion, which I'll share with you. And I'm stitching this on my linen, which is the creamy white, and it's called Solitude Serenity. And you can kind of see the color there. And this is 36 count. I don't know if I said that or not. I'm going to get rid of this board because I feel like it's just too big. I really wanted to kind of just show you up close the stitches, the pretty colors. So those flowers will go all the way around, and then they're just mixed. The colors are mixed. So I did a color conversion. It calls for DMC, and I did just some cotton overdyes, and they're basically the same colors, but just an overdye version. So if you're interested in the colors, I don't have them memorized. I do know that this is blacksmith blue around the border, and then the green is four-leaf clover. Blacksmith blue is Classic Colorworks. Then I'm using Classic Colorwork, four-leaf clover, Blushing Beauty, and Rose Garden is what I have so far showing up. If you're interested in my conversion, just message me and I'll share it with you. And I have this in a post, one of my Instagram posts. I think the very first gratitude post, actually. So I have this in my purse, my Jane Austen bag, one of the panel bags that they offered, with a silhouette charm. So I was so happy with my progress on Jane Austen Sampler. Now, birthday start last year, and if you have watched my channel, you've seen it. If you've watched my previous videos, this is in this is a Mansfield Park fabric collection, and I am working on Dwelling Place. And I absolutely love everything about this. I love the full cart. I love Teresa Koget's color palettes, everything about this. Teresa Koget. And this is what I have so far. I have not even stitched it since last time I showed it. So you can fast forward if you don't want to see it again. But this is what I have so far. And I really love, I can't wait to get down to the big flowers on where the birds are. Right there. Just this whole thing. I love it. So we'll get to it. I have all the colors. I'm using all the dyed over dyes, and there's some DMC in there. I'm using all the called for, haven't made any changes. And I forgot to mention what I'm stitching it on. This is, okay, so don't be mad at me. I have not figured out Salty Lake, and I'll talk about that later, but this is Salty Lake. My last year's version, I have not been able to get it again this year. It's been too green. So what's happening is I use a plant in my yard, and last year I got Salty Lake, and this year it's too green, and I'm actually using it as Cascade Springs. But sometimes it's greener than other times, and sometimes it's more beige. So order Cascade Springs. Right now it's really green. So if you want a really nice green undertone linen, then order Cascade Springs. I'm going to try to do a different dye for this next year to bring back Salty Lake. This is a 40 count. So that's what I'm doing. So Dwelling Place on. Okay, so those are my starts. No, that's my birthday. Finish, start, and then last year's start. Now, I watched Stitch and Gem. I haven't watched many Flosstubes lately. I've just been, I don't know. It's just, you know how sometimes you watch a bunch and then you stop. And well, I did watch Gems, and she had a birthday this month, and she was talking about she did like a parade of all of her birthday, starts, and she's still going on them. So I'm there with you, Gem. And there's no rules, right? There's absolutely no rules. So, okay, on to my next start. I have this it's a Christmas start, and Kimmy made this beautiful bag for me. Just love it so much. It's called Berries and Pine, and the fabric collection. I don't remember who made it. It's a Moda. So this start is actually a sew along that Kimmy and I are doing together, and we are doing Most Wonderful by the Shakespeare's Peddler. Sorry for the glare. And we are both stitching this on my linen Snowbird Sky, which is a bluish tone. It's very subtle. And I have Full in Wonderful. That's what I have so far. So this is a new start for Christmas. I'm using all of the called for, and I haven't even had a chance to properly kit this up and put the thread on rings, but these are the colors. And Kimmy is actually, because the white is ghosty on this linen, she's using eggshell, and I couldn't find mine, so I need to find that so that I can continue on, because there's some snowmen in there, snowflakes, and other things that calls for the white. So that is a start. That is 36 count Snowbird Sky is what I'm doing that on. And I believe Kimmy's doing the same. I think she's doing 36 count as well. Okay, so before we get onto my whips, I just want to share with you what's new in the shop. So in my last video, I shared a project bag that I made with a ruffle. And then I also shared with you the project bag kits that I offer in my shop in Cassidy Grace's new fabric collection. And this is Lori Holt's daughter. And this is her new first and new line. And so I went ahead and made a bag. I do have a few more of these bundles left to make the bag in the fabrics. It comes with this leather charm. It's like a keychain, and it has a little tassel. It's really, really cute. And this is all leather. And then all the bundles have this fabric, a half a yard of fabric with this lining. And I think I have like 3 or 4 left in the shop. So take a look. But I did have an overwhelming response for this ruffle and how I did it. And so I was just messaging people, telling them what I have done. And so I thought, well, I'm going to make a tutorial. And so after I shoot this video, I'm going to shoot the tutorial, and then I will hopefully have it at the same time. My goal is to have it available at the same time as this video so that you can take a look on how to make the bag. So my bundles don't have a pattern. They look like, that's my giveaway. They look like this. So basically Pellon fleece, and then fabric, and then a charm and a zipper. No pattern. So what I've done, and I just assume that if you make bags, you have a favorite pattern or a tutorial that you follow. And it doesn't have to be like this style. It could be a different style. So, you know, the options are endless, right? Of what you can do with the fabrics and the supplies to make your bag. So what I've done is I just added this ruffle. And so in the tutorial, I'll show you what I've done. But I basically have followed a tutorial on Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch's Stitch, her YouTube channel. She offers several tutorials, and I like to follow hers on the project bag. However, there are several options out there on YouTube. There's, like I said, the options are limited or endless. You can find so many fun tutorials. So I'm going to share with you some other bags that I've made with the ruffle. And then I'll share what's new, the fabric that I have that's new. Okay, so I was gifted this fabric from my friend Michelle. She gave it to me for my birthday. Thank you, Michelle. And so I made this Christmas bag, and this has the ruffle. So another example of the ruffle. And then I just have some simple lining in there. So I have a Christmas stitch to put in there. I do offer fabrics to make this bag, and this is called, the fabric line is called Handmade by Damskin. I think it's Danskin Love. And then I made a little thread bed as well. And this bundle is the same fabric, just a different colorway. You know, there's several. It's you know, the theme is sewing and notions and pins and all the things. So let me show you the inside, and you can see the pin fabric. So the pin fabric is the lining that you'll receive in the bundle if you order one. So this is an example of a bag that has a, you know, like a binding around it. So same size bag. When you put the binding around it, it makes it just a little bit bigger, a little more roomy. Okay. This bag is made by Liberty Fabrics. It's a brand new line. Liberty Fabrics from Riley Blake, and it's called Floral Nostalgia. It's so pretty, and I thought these would make beautiful bags for samplers. And this is the inside lining, and this is also Liberty Fabric. It's just it doesn't really show up. There's some floral. It's like a two-tone. It's really beautiful. Okay, and then I made a little thread bed. In the tutorial, I show you how to cut one fat quarter so that you have enough fabric to make a thread bed, and then the front bottom portion of your bag and the pleated ruffle. And then in your other fat quarter, you can back your bag and then the top. And then you have a half a yard to make the inside. And now I'll show you the fabrics. They're so pretty. Now they're all like different colors. Let's see. You'll see like the diversity in this line. So I will just pick them up one by one because I can see that everything is just going to crash down. But I wanted to show you up close anyway. So this is one option. All of these fabrics are listed in my shop right now. And there's numbers. And you can flip through and find one that you want. This one. Now I'll show you the charms after. This blue I thought was so pretty. The most gorgeous red. It's like an orangey red. It's so pretty. And then I showed you that one. And then I have one more, but I decided because I have it all cut up, ready to, it's all prepped to make the bag. And so these are little scraps. So this is the colorway of the bag for the tutorial. So, and I feel like I'm really shaky today. I don't know why. So most of them have this charm. It's a Lori Holt charm. This is called Bluebird. And then the two that have the red in it you're going to get the beehive charm. So this one and this one. And it's all pictured in the listing. That's what's new. When you go into my shop looking at linens and Aida cloth, I do hand dye Aida in 16 count and 18 count. The linen is 32, 36, and 40 count. Right now, I'm pretty low on my inventory, and I'll be ramping that back up after Thanksgiving. I'm going out of town for Thanksgiving, but I do have some 36 count. If you're interested in 36 count, that is going to be, I'm going to be working processing those. I have a bolt ready to process. It's actually processing right now, and I just need to add the colors to it, and hopefully I'll get some of that in the shop this weekend. So hang tight when you go in. If you're interested in a color and count that's not there, you can always message me, and then I can give you a ETAs when that will become available, and I'm always happy to message you when it becomes available. All right. So, whips. I had to get out my my Stitcher's journal because it's been like 5 weeks since I've been here, and I have a stack of whips here. I've been really busy stitching, and of course working on the finish, and then the 2 starts that I showed you, and then I also was motivated to get a few more whips. I don't know, give it some love, give my whip some love. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on. Okay, I have another Jane Austen. I have lots of Jane Austen bags. This is another Mansfield Park that is sadly no longer available. We're getting another line next year. Northanger Abbey's coming with the cutest charms ever. So just get ready for that. All right. Kindness Makes Friends. This is a chart by Shakespeare's Peddler that Kimmy and I are doing this sal together. And I posted her progress. She shared it in our last video. And then I made a little bit more progress on mine. Using all the called for, this is 40 count, called for floss. And then for the fabric, this is Flax by Zweigart, and it's 40 count. So gave that just, I would say, a tiny bit of love. Not a whole lot. Okay, here's my first ruffle bag that I made. This is made out of the Prairie Life. No, sorry. Evening on the Prairie. Prairie Life is a sampler that I'm doing, which I'm not going to show you because I haven't done anything to it. This is Evening on the Prairie by Modern Prairie Fabric, Melissa Gilbert's line. And I do have more bundles available, so take a look. Here's my bag. And I'm working on Bee in My Bonnet Stitch Cards by Lori Holt. And here is my progress. I think last time I just had the covered wagon, I think. And then I did the bonnet, finished the bonnet, and then this is the cabin. This one here. There. And what I did is I think it calls for DMC. And so what I did is I just grabbed some of my over dyes, and then I decided to match the colors. So the green, I wanted to match the Evening on the Prairie fabric, because when I finish these into little pillows, I'm going to be using the Evening on the Prairie fabric. And so that's what I did. Just toned them down to just a little bit more subtle colors. So I'm happy with that. However, I really wanted the pillows done, but it just didn't happen. It's okay. We'll get to it someday. And then my next whip is in a Lori Holt fabric collection called Autumn. It's Autumn. It has the Autumn talk in there. And I decided to give my Halloween at Hollyberry Farm some love. So Christy Crosshatch Quilts, she finished hers, and I worked on this a little bit in October, but I hardly at all. So I'm like, oh, I need to just give it some love. The house needs a lot of love. And so I worked on the house a little bit more. Last time I shared, I think I just had a little bit of the white here. I had the roof done, but I didn't have, I filled in that, I did that, and I put those in, and I filled in this chimney, filled in this white, and then I filled in the windows, and down here, the pumpkins. The door wasn't even touched. I did the door. So yeah, I feel like I got some progress in. So this fabric is Fiber on a Whim Cocoa in 36 count. So fun. I love the modeling in there. It looks like a haunted tree to me, the corner. So I was surprised when I got this linen because it said cocoa. And I thought, oh, it'll be like a, like chocolatey brown. No, it's like purple and kind of green, gray. So, and I just realized that I forgot to tell you the linen I'm using for the stitch cards. And this is Cascade Springs. And this is more the beige version. Cascade Springs. And that's 32 count. Trying to be better at remembering to tell you exactly what I'm using and what I'm doing. Okay, another whip. Oh, this has the beads in it. Okay. My one and only Mirabilia. This is the Christmas elf fairy. I'm stitching this for a stocking for my stepdaughter Haley. And I have it in my Magical Winterland bag. I counted, I have 4 more bundles left if you're interested. And I made a little thread bed. In my tutorial, I'm going to show you how I make the thread beds. They're super simple. You can do it a number of ways. But I have snaps for closure. And then I just put some fleece, Pellon fleece inside, plus some stiff interfacing in between, sandwiched between the fabric and the fusible fleece. So I'll show you how I do that in the tutorial. It's super easy. Okay, Christmas elf fairy. So isn't she pretty? So I shared this last Christmas. I finished the wing completely, and then I started on the, oh, what do you call the fluffy stuff? Whisper. Yeah. And so the other night I got it out and I did the cuff. I did her cuff. The tree's all done. And if I share in the light, you can see that has the sparkly thread. I'm not super familiar with all of the products used because I'm just not a Mirabilia stitcher. Like, I'm not prolific in all the workings of doing a Mirabilia, but and all the beading and all that. But I did the whisper on the bottom of her dress, so that's what I worked on the other night. The boots have the white beads going down, so that's what I'll do next. And then there's just a sprinkling of, like for snow at the bottom there, the beads, you can see. And then that's all I have to do. And then I'm done. I have 2 other fairies picked out for I have 3 stepdaughters, so the other 2 will have fairies as well. So hopefully I can get to that. Maybe start him this Christmas, but finish hers. Okay. All right, now I have 2 Christmas whips to share, and then we'll go on with the haul. Okay, back to the ball sow. Working on the Gingerbread House sewing book. These are the items that I had picked out to finish. This is just a sample linen. It's equivalent to Park City Lights. It's just a very light pink that I'll use for the inside. And then some like rosy colored wool, and then some ribbon to finish. So last Christmas, I stitched the majority of the house. When I picked it up the other night, I finished the candies on either side. That's all I had to do on this one. And then I'm just working on filling in the house. And then on this side, I started the back. And there we go. I changed the color of for the furniture and the mice. I changed it to, I think, grapevine. Weeks Dye Works. Grapevine. Yes. The grapevine. It calls for caper, and the caper's just, it's kind of a greeny caper, so I decided to change it to brown. And I'm super excited about getting this, just working on it and getting it done. I really loved Stacy's class last year. I've never taken a class of hers before, so it was just nice to see her in action and listen to her voice, and it was really fun. This is straw, and it's the Week Dye Works, and this is the Old Weeks, and it's like really soft. I don't know if this is like what kind of linen this is, but I actually like it. I like the feel of it. Oh, I'm just showing you that upside down, sorry. So yeah, so that's Gingerbread sewing book. And I want to finish that. Like, I'll be working on that I've been working on it every night this past week. So it's been nice. Okay, Candy Cane Lane. I have this has been you think I would have this done. I just haven't been super consistent of getting it out on the 25th of every month. But this has been my Christmas whip all year long. And this is a Brenda Gervais. If you're interested, this bag is from the Hometown Holiday fabric collection. And from what I understand, they're bringing out the Hometown Holiday collection again, and just for a limited time. And I'm not sure, it's sometime next year. Riley Blake will be doing that. And this is what I have for my, this is my progress. So last time, oh, I just love all the colors. They're so bright and fun. Last time I had just been working on filling in that house and finishing up the roof. So I finished the house completely. And then I just went up to the top and did the border on the top. And now I'm just working on the little snowflakes here. And then once I get that top all done, then I'll drop down and do the deer. What's next? There's a little cake and a deer. And the little candies, the gifts, and then the snow scene at the bottom with the trees and the bottom border. So this is just a fun. This is just a really fun stitch. This is on 40 count flax. And I think I just ordered this on 1, 2, 3 stitch when I started it last year. So I'm using all the colors that are called for, that Brenda chose. And it's just really bright and cheery. Just love it. Okay, so that's on my whips for cross stitch. Let me just show you, this is my sewing. I'm just going to bump up because it's just been a huge part of my stitching. And that is my Jane Austen blocks. I have the past 2 months, I'm all caught up. I haven't started November, however, but I do have the Hampshire blocks and the Kent blocks all done. And then I'm just working on the hand applique, stitching them on. I finished this one. It's all done. You can see on the back where I've stitched and where I haven't. That one. Now this is for the 250th anniversary Jane Austen quilt. And it's brought to us by Riley Blake. Lori Holt designed the beautiful quilt. And it's a sew along with Riley Blake. And if you go onto YouTube, you can follow along with Cindy Clower. And okay, now. Okay, so I showed you the 4. Yep, I showed you the 4 Hampshire blocks. Now these are the Kent blocks. There's that one. I still need a hand applique. But what took the most time was the center block, which is the Chawton block, which I shared in my last video. And it's 18 inches. It's huge. These are going to be 8.5 inch blocks when they're cut down. That one. All of these fabrics are reproduction fabrics from Jane Austen's coverlet quilt. And it's a combination of all of the Jane Austen fabrics that Riley Blake has come out with and reproduced from the coverlet, inspired by the coverlet. So it's just an honor to be working on this quilt and sewing along with others, and Kimmy's also working on it. And I'm super happy with the progress that I've made. I've worked hard to get caught up, at least get August, September, and October, and get that big Chawton block completed. That was a lot of work. And so what I usually do is I'll bring a block with me when I sit down to stitch at night and work on the block for a little bit and then put it down and then we'll move on to stitching. So those are my whips. And then I have some Stitchy Kindness to share. Okay, so Kimmy texted me and she says, okay, there's something coming to you on Friday. This was last week. And you're not going to believe this, but she stitched, well, you'll believe it because you know how sweet she is. This Primrose Cottage little Christmas design. So sweet and special. And she wrote down all of the details on this little card. This is the Primrose Cottage Snowman 2025. And it's stitched on 40 count platinum with the called for DMC. Now, let's talk about the cuteness of this whole thing. Now, I asked her, I'm like, okay, did this like come with it? You know, like made special? And she said, no, it's just Hobby Lobby in their frame section. So this is just a wooden frame, and then she finished the back. Of course she did. She just so much into that detail. So thank you, Kimmy. Love, love, love my birthday present. Thank you. Okay, and then a customer sent me a kind note. She asked for the Pole Dark Cornish Folkies chart, and I lent it to her. And then she wrote back and says, okay, I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to send it back. And she added this little gift. So thank you, Robin. And this is a Heartstring Samplery Gift of October Biscornu. I have never done a Biscornu. And it's going to be so fun. I just love it. I love the design. Thank you, Robin. Okay, another birthday little goodie that I received, and I forgot to share it last time. So my friend Linda, she's part of our retreat group, and she's a dear friend of ours. She gave me a Jane Austen inspired birthday present. So she sent me this beautiful card, like a sampler card, and Jane Austen stationery. Thank you. It has these really pretty seals on there, sticker seals. Okay, I'm not even done. Like she gave me this journal. And if you've ever written in a 5-year journal, I did it once years ago, and I'm excited to get back to it. So this coming year. So you just write a little something, just a little note, a reminder, something that happened that day or a little thought. And so then you just collect all of your thoughts for 5 years. You just keep it in a space where you remember to do it every day. And then this little leather bookmark, which I don't have this, Linda. Thank you. All of these things are going to be used. Thank you so much. All right. Now, haul. I forgot to share this last time. So when I had my friends and sister here, when did we do this? In October, so last month. we did a lot of shopping, and I bought some wild orchid blackbird fabric. And I bought this at Quilts Etc. So I bought the 2 charm packs. And then I chose this for my backing. I thought I better grab it before it's just gone. And then I chose this for my binding. So I just really loved these warm, rich colors. And then I'll just choose a background fabric, probably a creamy neutral, and then just, I don't even know, it'll be like a throw blanket for my front room one day. But I just really wanted to get my hands on that beautiful blackbird fabric. I wanted to build my inventory of, just some really beautiful Christmas stitching. Emily Call has a chart called Peace on Earth, and I can't show you the picture of it because it's a chart. But if you can go onto her Etsy shop, it's Emily Call, and it's called Peace on Earth, and she shared a picture on her Instagram. Follow her on Instagram if you haven't. Please do. She has so many cute charts, and so I purchased her Peace on Earth, so can't wait to start that. And then, okay, what I'm going to do is put everything in here that I've shared. Okay, Prairie Schooler. We'll start with Prairie Schooler. I may have shared this last time, but it's just in my my pile, so I'll share it again. Santa's Revisited. I did watch Debbie and Kefren's video, their most recent video, Snug Harbor Crafts, and Debbie she shared one of her Prairie School Santas, and she did a big one in a frame, and it looks really good. So this is new to me. I just got this from 123 Stitch, and I want to do this one right here, and then the little cabin, Season's Greetings. So I thought that was so sweet. Okay. Manny Di Donna, Home for Christmas. I really love that finish on there too. Sweet pillow. And I found these little pins. Thought they were sweet. I just grabbed some Lancaster red because the Prairie Schooler Santas, if you go into Shepherd's Bush, this is the color that they use for their Santas. Okay, Gather Pine Cones by Hands On Design. That little cabin in the woods. So sweet. Now this one I'll probably start in January. This is called Winter's Rest by Blueberry Ridge Design. I love all the colors. It's so cute. Another Prairie Schooler. The bunnies. Okay, this is my first strawberry by Erica Michaels, and I wanted to do a Christmas one, so Silent Night. The Caroline Berries. October House, All Is Calm. Okay, and then the last three are Blackbird. Okay. I'll start with the book. Peppermint and Holly. 2004. So this is in my vintage collection. I got their summer, patriotic book, so I thought I better get the Christmas one as well. So here's the back. Okay, who loves these sweet little charts? So sweet. I'm not even sure which one I want to start with. Maybe this one. The poinsettias. Bringing Good Cheer. This is a series, a Christmas sampler series. This is number 3. Bringing Good Cheer. And this is patterned after a reproduction, antique sampler. This is the back. I really, really love this. So then they added, she added Merry Christmas on the bottom. I love this one too. This is the number 4 Christmas sampler series. Christmas Rose. She thinks that I'm talking to her. My phone. Okay. Christmas Rose. Who's done this one? So cute. Beautiful. Okay, and this one, so this is inspired by an antique sampler, part of it. And I think it was the house and the deer. So there you go. Okay. I'm going to do just one plan, actually 2 plans, and then I'll do the giveaway. I meant to do the giveaway earlier, so if you're still with me, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Okay, so Queen of the May. I finally have all of the threads for this, the green and the ecru. So Elizabeth Stevenson. Who loves this chart so much? Okay. So I have all of here's the ecru, but I have all of the threads now. This is my maiden voyage of 103s. So I'm super excited about it. And I want to make a special little bag. I just imagine like something like this big with the acrylic window. What do you call that? You know what I'm talking about, the clear vinyl, and just a little zip, like just to keep them all nice. And then I'll be able to see like the colors through the window. So I plan to make the bag, but that's not really stopping me. It's just more just time to get to it. But I wanted to show you this linen because it's so pretty. So this is Cascade Springs. This is 40 count. So this is what I'll be doing it on. And if I fold it up, see the color. My light's kind of washing everything out. Get a white. There you go. All right. So my plan is to start this for my daughter Rachel's birthday, which is the 25th of November, coming up. She's going to be turning 30 years old. Can you believe it? And So this will be for her, you know, one day. One day. You know, later on. But yeah, so want to start that for her birthday. Super excited about that. I probably won't start it right on her birthday, probably a couple days before. I might take it. We're going to Alabama. I might take it with me. I'm not sure. All right, so the next plan that I have that I'll share today, my last one, is this beautiful chart by Teresa Corbett. I'd like to start this for my parents, and God Saw. And I really love this design. It reminds me of just the sentiment involved with what my parents has what they've given us to their family, how God's hand was in our life and in their relationship, and how they came together, and how they taught us what's most important. And I just really love how Teresa brought this together, that everything was good. And God saw and God saw everything He made, and it was good. You can cut that part out because I totally butchered that. I don't have the linen picked out for this yet, but I do have all of the threads, so I've just been gathering those, and perhaps this will be a New Year start for me for next year. I have 2 giveaway winners from last week's video, and we're giving away 1 fat quarter of linen and 1 kit. So we'll start with the kit. This is the Evening on the Prairie kit. And the winner of this is Bunny E. Martins 7756. So congratulations, Bunny. And then the 1 fat quarter of either linen or Aida, the winner of that giveaway is Trisha Dictionski. 1473. So Trisha, congratulations. So if you please go to my Instagram or my email, both are Count on Linens. In the very end of my video, I think I have my email, but it's countonlinens@gmail.com, or you can direct message me on Instagram, and then you can share your address and we'll get those to you. Okay, I have 1 giveaway for today, and so this is what I'm going to give away today, and this is the handmade kit. And this bundle includes a ½ yard of Pellon fusible fleece, and there's actually extra fabric in here, so than the other bundles. So there's a ½ yard of the lining fabric, which is like the pins, and then 3 fat quarters, zipper, and then the charm. And the charm is a chunky thread, Lori Holt's chunky thread charm. It's super cute. So to participate in this giveaway, if you can comment, we'll just do kit again like we did last time. So use the word kit, and then if you can subscribe if you haven't already, and like my video, and be over the age of 18, and then you'll have a chance to win. So thank you so much. So I think I shared everything. I don't have anything else in front of me, so that's good news. I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate and just love doing this for you, for my business, and doing the Flosstube and stitching. I love the stitching. I don't ever get tired of it. I love the process. I love what needlework has done for me and helping me cope and helping me with my thought processes and my daily life. And it's just a little break and a little time to unwind and to work on beautiful things. And thanks for all of you. Thank you for being here, and for all of your engagement in my last video with Kimmy. She will be coming back in, I think we decided February. So when there's a week in February where the weather's good and there's a safe time to travel, she'll come back up and help me, and we'll share some things together. But in the meantime, I will be back in December, and I'll be back in January, because my track record is coming on, like every 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. So it's always fun to talk stitching, isn't it? Have a great Thanksgiving. I hope you all have time to spend with your family and friends, and everyone be safe. Be inspired and grateful every day, and we'll see you next time.